Bonnie, these are great holiday mosaics, aren't they?
Yeah, I love the look of mosaics, and we've done tiling here before in the mosaic look. We're going to show you a few twists now today. First of all, let's take a look at these because we've got candles inside, and this is very much your typical mosaic look. Now, we're using the mosaics from the Beadery, and then we're also have used a little bit, can you see the foil on the inside of that one right there at the top?
Yeah, that's kind of making it glow, isn't it?
Yes, we're using Delta's Renaissance foil, and I'm going to show you how that can give just even a little different look when then you put the tiles on top of that. So that's one of the examples that we're using, and I want to show you something else that we're going to show you today because I think this is lovely. I've always loved the look of a stained glass window in a church, and this gives us the same kind of idea or the same look as that, and then there's a candle also behind that. So I just think these are fun, a little bit different than our typical Christmas holiday thing.
I can see that with maybe a little angel in front of it.
Absolutely.
And you can get that at Michael's too.
That's right. I like that idea. Very good. All right, let's start here with the foiling, as I said. Now, we have shown this before where, well, here are these beads, and actually these are just made out of plastic, but they look great, don't they? Like they could be little glass jewels or something. But anyway, that's what we're using. And all I've done to get this started is to use, I've got a silicone sealer that I'm using for the glue, basically. And what you want to do is take your piece, and when you're gluing it on, make sure that you have enough to go to all the corners. You can use a rubber glove if you'd like to when you're doing something like this. You don't want to have too much of the glue, but just make sure it's all over to the corners. Press it down and let it dry, and then we're just going to go in and do the grouting. There are different colors of grout that you can get from the Beadery. Just follow the instructions and you're set to go. Now, around the top, I was talking about the Renaissance foil from Delta. What you need to do is they've got a whole little kit where you can get the adhesive, the foil, the sealer, everything ready to go. So I've put the adhesive on, and it's a little bit sticky. Take my foil, go over it. We've done this before, of course, but just to review, I can use a craft stick, I can use my fingers, my fingernail, anything like that. And then I pull it off, the foil is on there. I see I move this, how it kind of has come off of the foil there. So I just move to a different place, can go over it until I have enough foil, as much foil as I want. I can leave it like that, or if I want it completely covered, I just keep rubbing and keep moving my foil. So that's how we do the foiling. Now let me set this aside and go to our next step. As you can see, I've foiled all along the edge of this piece. And then see, the deal of why we're doing the foiling only in certain areas is because then when we come along and put the beads on top, you actually see the foil.
You see it through.
Right. And it's going to give you a different look than when you start putting your beads here too. So that's
it lightens and brightens it up.
Yeah, it does. A different look, and that's what's fun. Now, we're going to go to the gallery glass leading and their colors, and that's what we're using for the inside. And see how that looks like the stained glass look? So first of all, there's the leading, and we use that. Now don't be afraid, because this isn't actual lead. It's just called leading. This is non-toxic. So we go, we make our shapes, we let that dry. It's important to let this dry before you go to the next step. Because, let me show you this next step. Here is where I've already started. You can see where I've put my gold pieces here, and then we'll see the gold behind there.
It's interesting because you have the shapes, the square ones and the triangular ones.
Yeah, that's fun to choose also. Now, what I'm going to do here is using then Gallery Glass's window color. Now you could use the adhesive that I did on the other one, but you don't have to. You can just use this color as your glue, and basically I'm just going to put a blob on here and put it down. Now, I don't have to be perfect, of course. Remember, in mosaics, you want to have you want it to be kind of, you don't want them to be all next to each other. You want to see the in-between color, you know. So what I'm saying is that, see, I don't have to put this up right against it. What I'm going to do is turn this a little.
That acts like grout then.
Yes, then this is going to act like grout. And then I fill in with this. The other thing is that I want to go all the way up to my leading lines. So you don't want to have a gap where there is no color. And then when it dries, it looks like that. Now, isn't that something?
Isn't that beautiful?
I think it's a wonderful project.
This is all on your instruction sheet.
Right.
Thank you, Bonnie, for sharing a wonderful idea again.
Thanks, Aleen.
And if you'd like to write for free instructions, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to M10296, Clearly Holiday Mosaics.